Spies.
This is a fun game. I like
This is great. And I haven't messed around a whole lot with print and play games.
Yeah.
I think dry erase makes this so much better.
Yeah, but you can use pencil and stuff, but yeah, it's...
Yeah, that adds up a lot of pages quick, because we went through how many games?
We did 4 games in the span of under 2 hours.
Yeah, especially because the games are so short, you kind of want to play a couple rounds, so yeah.
I highly recommend getting them laminated.
But you can also, you don't have to get them laminated, you can buy those like plastic sheets that for binders and just
That's true.
You can just slip
you could absolutely do that. That's a much cheaper way to do it.
That's what I used to do in D&D. I would just slip my thing and I use dry erase on the plastic.
That's really smart.
Super smart.
Really smart.
Yeah. I think this is a very solid concept. It's a very fun, easy to learn game that anyone can play, and it's a lot of fun. I think it works very well. And the fact that we played this many games with this small of a group is a testament to how good this is.
Yeah, it felt like a very party-ish game with a small group of people.
Yeah, but I like because we talked about playing with a bigger group, but and how it would change. But really, it doesn't. A bigger group wouldn't change that much because you still it's just the 2 people next to you.
Yeah,
it's just
at most you're focusing on, because you don't really care what the person tracking you is doing. That doesn't necessarily matter all that much, unless you're just trying to withhold points from them.
Yeah.
Really, you're trying to score the most points you can, so you're paying attention to the person you're tracking and the person that they're tracking.
I don't know. I kind of also I pay more attention to the person I'm tracking, but yeah, the person tracking me is also important.
Yeah, because if I know that you know where I am, I'm more inclined to do some dodging or extract or.
See, I played the first couple games that way, but I think by the end of the night I was like, oh, I don't care if the person tracking me knows where I'm at. I'm not even paying attention.
Well, it's hard to track people, so unless
so I'm gonna focus on tracking my target. And part of what helps me track my target is who are they tracking?
Yeah.
I feel like those questions.
I feel like when I paid attention to who my target was tracking, I did a better job. I scored better.
It's fun because it's a simple little game that you can play with a group of up to 6 people. I mean, theoretically, you could play with even more.
Yeah.
Totally.
And since it's a print and play, it doesn't I did go ahead just for the look and feel, print these in color. They have black and white options as well. And it totally doesn't matter.
Yeah. You could do the same spy if you really wanted to. It's all there's nothing special about them.
They've even got a low ink version that has less artwork to it,
nice.
Just line art for the character and stuff.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so you could totally print off a dozen copies of the spy sheet and have 12 people play this game, and it would work.
Oh yeah. No, you totally could.
Yeah, it's marketed to be 2 to 6 players. But I don't think that the core mechanics are going to change that much.
Because once...
It would drag on, asking questions.
That's true.
But other than time...
It would take too long to play with too many people.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they set that limit at 6.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know how it plays with 2 people.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you're tracking the person that's tracking you. And there's a version of the game where there's a little bit more of the mind game aspect at play.
Yeah, you've got to, because then you've got to really be throwing off whoever's tracking you, because that's the whole thing at that point.
But simultaneously trying to go sabotage their completed missions.
Right.
Yeah,
I'd try it.
That's a slightly different game. I think 3 and up, it's probably going to be pretty similar,
it's just
no matter
same
what.
but longer.
Yeah.
But I think it works really well as a print and play game. I think we talked about this a little bit at the start of the show. The shields, the player screens, are inefficient.
Well, we are also playing on a board game table. If you're playing this on a dining table,
it's going to be up here,
or in
does
your
that
living
shield
room.
it any better?
Yeah, that does shield it better at that. Yeah, it really is table dependent if these are going to work.
Yeah, it's because
our table's a little low. That's the issue.
So it's like
that.
Oh yeah, never mind. That totally works.
I can barely see your sheet at all, except for you tracking.
Never mind.
So if it was an actual,
my complaint is revoked.
Yeah.
It's completely null and void when you play on a normal sized table. That's good to know. That was kind of my only issue with it, was the fact that we kind of had to hodgepodge pulling in components from other games to shield things a little bit better from each other.
But yeah, I think it's an incredibly solid game. And especially because it's a print and play and it's like $5. We had like one slight question about the rules that might get explained.
$4.
If we read the rules more carefully, I'm sure it says in there.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It does not say, because I went and looked. So the couple questions that are a little bit ambiguous are: have you ever visited a room? We debated for a little while about whether or not that counted rooms that you just passed through. And from a language standpoint, I feel like Dustin made a pretty strong argument. You technically were in that room, that is a visit, whether you stopped there or not.
Yeah, but if you have a layover in LaGuardia, you don't say, I went to New York for the weekend.
No, but
not for the weekend, but you could say you went to New York. You stopped in New York.
I've been to Texas 4 times, at least airports, but I wouldn't say I've been to Texas.
Okay.
But okay, if I asked you, when was the last time you were in New York, and if you had
But the question is, have you visited?
No, but
Have you
the other
visited?
one is, what room were you last in?
Yeah, but that's
And that's another question. Yeah, that was the other one that we were ambiguous on.
I feel like that's where you started the round. That can't be anything other than if one is true, the other one has to be true.
Yeah, we played it we thought about it in terms of mechanics, that it made more sense to say it had to be somewhere that you had actually stopped. But I think there's a little bit of ambiguity in the language there, to where I'm not sure if that's what's intended.
Language
or not.
is hard.
Oh yeah.
Well, and
Words are the least efficient way we have to communicate.
The simple solution to that, the rule book is very short. It's 2 pages of a Word document. So I think the simple solution is just to add a little FAQ to the end of that for those ambiguities.
Yeah, or just change the wording to like last room you stopped
And
in,
luckily, it's
or something.
It's a PDF, so it wouldn't
Have
be.
you ever
It's not going to
stopped
be
in?
incredibly hard for them to update. It's not like they have to ship you new components.
Yeah,
every day.
exactly. They don't have to publish an errata necessarily.
And I mean, honestly, you could make this game yourself with an Excel sheet. And some clip art. Like, if you really
didn't want to spend $4,
you could open an Excel sheet, get some free clip art, put them in some cells, and boom.
The artwork is great. I don't know.
I think it's worth the $4.
Oh,
though.
for sure. I would definitely pay $4 for
The artwork is great, and I don't know who the artist is, but because it's not mentioned in the little README that they sent us. But
yeah,
the artwork's great.
I do really like
it a
the
lot.
artwork.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's not too much, but it's enough. It's got unique. They didn't need unique spies, but they did it anyway, and I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's themed well, which I love. I love theming. You got good theming in a board game. That's half the battle for me.
Yeah, it's a solid game.
I like it.
Well done, and for $4, you can't really beat that.
It. No.
Yeah, and especially if you go like I went a little bit expensive on getting components printed and laminated and stuff, but you can go cheaper, especially if you do those binder sheets that you were talking about, and then just get some dry erase markers or salvage them from another board game, because there's a ton of them that use them. So
steal them from work.
Yeah, there
or
you go.
School.
Yeah, and obviously you could just print multiple copies of the sheets and play with pencils too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do you know? Whatever you want to do.
I dig it. Print and play games are cool. That's Spies from No Box Games. Check it out. The link is in the chat or in the description if you're watching our review video. Hey, thanks for hanging out. If you want to spend more time with us, do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, head on over to twitch.tv/bnbtabletop and give us a follow there. We play board games live every Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a show we call The Board and Barrel. And we like to keep things interactive. You guys can influence what happens throughout the course of a game with our Buff and Nerf house rules. You can also make predictions on how things are going to pan out, play virtual bingo for a chance to win a free board game of your own, and heckle us and stuff from the chat. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you Sunday night.